All right. It is November 17th, 2025 at 11:41 p.m. I am the rememberist of Zampanio, and this is what would be my fourth exploration log, but I'm actually going to try something a little different today. I have some more exploration things to report that I'll get to, but first, as the rememberist of Zampanio, I figured my own perspective, that's just one perspective of it. It's not just me remembering Zampano, it's me remembering how I remember it. But I thought it might be interesting to get a few other perspectives in there. So I have today my first, I guess, guest entonnote of sorts of what I hope will be a bunch of them. So I would like to welcome. Do you have a title? You don't have a title yet, right?
Nope.
You don't have a title yet. How are we going to refer to you?
I guess you could just call me cheesy.
Okay, I have on the podcast today Cheesy the Untitled, who is very new to the Zampano community. Just joined the server. What was it like 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Wow, today felt like 2 days. So yeah, just joined yesterday. Already did a little exploration, and I thought that would be a really good first look at sort of the kinds of things I want to talk about with other people who are experiencing this labyrinth with me. So, Cheesy, first thing I want to ask, if you want to talk about this, is how did you find yourself here in this labyrinth?
Oh, puppeteer.
Same.
Yeah, and the puppeteer, brought me in here. And yes, I looked at Zampanio first about a year ago, but this was my second go at it.
Mhm.
I ended up coming back after a while of it. It led me in here, and I was poking around at a few of the different doors and things. Found I think it was in the east that I found the Discord and the credits, and there I was, just ready to go. And yeah, that's been here for about a day, and it's pretty good to be here. Glad to get to meet the community. Everyone seems really nice so far, so it's pretty fantastic.
Truly, it is a great game, and I really think that you should play it. And it looks like you have been playing a little bit. You told me that you were exploring some of the branches. You said you went in all the different directions. Are there any standouts so far in terms of the things that you found in those directions?
Well, I'm actually really glad you asked that because so in the north so far, I've been looking at the text-based adventure a lot, but the east had some really interesting stuff. I had a lot of fun, looking at the different paths there, and there's some really interesting characters there. But then the south, I think I'm pretty sure I got 100% of the stuff there.
Oh
So
yeah, the credits.
oh yeah, right, the credits as well. I went in the east. I That was where I found the server, like I said earlier, and I got them to roll, and then from there it was just a matter of exploring and seeing sort of what else I could poke at.
Oh, I was wondering because I saw there was screenshots of you saying something about wanting to be let in rather. So it was. I haven't touched Adventuresome West at all. Cool to know that you can do that with that.
Yeah, you can just put in your command standard that you
So
like.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. So
What?
you look at those different ones and so you found the server link you said in the East credits.
Yeah, that's correct.
I wish I had that easy of a time with it. I think the only place I thought the link was in the middle of the gopher maze, and I spent so
Really?
long trying to
Oh my
find it.
god.
Um,
I haven't explored that at all yet, so yeah, it's
no, it is.
brave.
I don't blame you. It is the only way that I've been able to explore it is with a whole bunch of the different like tools the community's made.
Wow.
And but you have explored Adventures in a little bit. You said you went to the so besides letting the credits roll, did you go back and try to do anything else with the East one with that simulator?
Yeah, well, I was poking around with it a bit, and after I realized that you can use like inspect element to like look inside of it, all of a sudden the world just opens up to me. It's like, wow, there's so much more to do here. But yeah, then I was walking around a lot, sort of you're looking at the chat logs especially. But yeah, no, I saw a lot of different, very interesting things out there, and I think it was. I think
Oh. So, and then of all those, do you have a favorite direction that you've gone so far?
yeah, actually, I think East was great. I loved East. North was very interesting, but South so far is easily my favorite of them. I just like the the truth element of it a lot. I like the trains, love trains, big train fan. So getting to walk around on one, South has just been really and really interesting getting to see the behind the scenes too.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what's consistent about them, right? Or have you heard
well, the
South?
fact that
That's a good answer. That was my favorite too. That yeah, that South is like truth, East is that this is not a game, or no, this is a game, and then North is this is not a game.
yeah, it's North's the one that's not a
So
game.
and so South, you said you did the train, right? And you
Yes,
saw 100% of the rooms.
yeah, like I said
What do you think of
earlier.
Truth so far? You must have seen a lot of Truth dialogue if you went South.
Oh yeah, no, she's the or they're the red text behind the train, right? Yeah, I saw Truth. You've been a fan so far. Very interested in how they're written, and it was, I guess, looking at that the inspect element, getting to see that they've been talking the whole time. It's like, oh, they've been saying things the entire time. That was like amazing to find out. That one of the like defining moments of Zampanio Sim for me, I think, so far.
Yeah, no, I as soon as I figured out that there was talking of the console, it's like all of a sudden this whole
Mm-hmm.
world opens up, right? It's like
Yeah.
now I have to relook at everything I've already looked at. Did you spend any time in the help pages doing any of the quizzes or anything?
Oh, yep. I That was actually the first thing I did was I went to the North help page, and I think must have done like 40
Oh
questions
yeah.
there. Yeah, no, I did like 40 questions before I found out. It started saying like, "Help! I'm in pain. Don't stop doing this." And then that was when I realized that I was scrolling down. It was going on for a
Yeah.
very long time, and yeah,
So
that's when I figured out it was
you
going to go off.
made it pretty far in then.
Yep, like 40 questions, like I was saying. Yeah, but I poked around at the other ones a little bit. I think the South one was one of actually the big reasons I joined the Discord was seeing the screenshots over in there. Um, and then the East one, I think I looked at a
Yeah,
little
because
as
you see a
well.
lot of screenshots from the Discord in there, right? It's like that. It gives you a pretty good idea of the fact that there is a community here.
Yeah.
And so I do want to ask you real quick, as the rememberist, it is my duty to know. So you're just sort of getting back into this community. And it's after like a year's previous look. You're doing a proper delve in. I know it's really early on in your journey to ask this, but seeing as how it's so much of the hunt for Zampano is this really iterative thing. If you had to pick now, literally on like your your second day, what would you want to be remembered for if you could choose within like the Zampano community? Like what do you aim to do?
Well, I'm really glad you asked that. What really
I know
interests
it's a big
me
question.
is yeah, it is a big question, but I do have an answer for you. The literary analysis aspect of it is, I think, what really interests me. This is a text, right? There's like there's
Mm-hmm.
characters, there's a story, there's a lot going on with it, and I looking at the influences that Homestuck and House of Leaves are written all over it, and I really want to delve into sort of what what inspired Zampani within those, sort of where those similarities are, and try to figure out like
Yeah.
what's going on here. What are the themes, the lessons? What are the characters doing? I think the literary analysis aspect of it is really something I can
Mm-hmm.
bring to the table in a way no one else has, and I'm excited to start doing all that comparative work because I think there's a lot of connections between those
A
things.
contemporary of Pong.
Yeah, and the fact that it was contemporary of Pong, although Pong isn't very much of a text, but like although yeah, it is funny that you
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that because Homestuck has a lot of those video gamey. But anyway, like I think doing that comparative reading is a very interesting idea that I'd like to look into a little more.
I am so interested in hearing more about that. I love this sort of like
Yeah.
comparative textual analysis thing. I'd recommend also looking at the Stanley Parable in
Oh
your
yes.
your texts there. But I'm so interested to see because there's a lot of I think thematic resonance. Obviously with House of Leaves, but then with Homestuck, like it goes beyond the aesthetics of it. Like
Yeah.
there's themes in that thing, and I'm very interested to see what you do with unpacking the themes of Zampano, the themes of these other texts you're comparing it with, and I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Thank you so much. I'll give you a ping when I do my first publication for it.
Aw. Well, I'm doing a heart emoji right back. I for today's,
Oh,
brief little chat, I have one more question for you, and that's so again, I know it's early, but you said you've been looking at the text, looking at the story.
yeah.
Do you have a favorite character, favorite person, favorite god, just favorite something you've seen so far within the sim, within just the labyrinth?
So that I think my favorite character is pretty resoundingly the intern so far. Like I said, I was going to the East a lot, reading a lot of the chat
Haha.
logs, and I don't want to, I don't want to get into a ton of spoiler territory, but that chat log has some really interesting things going on because you're playing as the intern, and it's like that friend you're talking to, all of a sudden just like disappears out of nowhere, and it's
Hmm.
like. Then it turns out your boss has access to your
Yeah.
logs, and it's like, what is happening there? And so I love like chat log based storytelling a lot. I think that part of why I got into Homestuck, but I think that that's something that Zampanio Sim
Hmm.
does really well, and seeing the sort of rising tension there of like what's happening with your
Yeah.
boss and why your friend disappeared. It was just the everything happening with the intern really excited me because of that, and that's a character that I definitely want to do some more reading about because there was there was so much especially even
Whoa.
when the logs like when you go from one log to having a whole bunch of chat logs if you stick with it long enough that one of the the little surprises in there if you keep going with it. So I
What?
really yeah, no, it's crazy, like literally five other ones of them show up, so you got to keep delving into it, like you gotta check it out a little more. I mean, I know you're pretty far in, so you've probably already seen all the stuff there, but yeah,
Hmm.
but it's like to the listener, I guess, definitely look into things to the east. That's there's some good stuff in the logs there, and I guess besides the
What? Okay,
intern.
I gotta explore this more. I would looked at so many other things in East, but I hadn't looked at the chats yet. That's gonna be my next my next adventure is gonna be reading those chat logs. So I was just looking for more information on the intern. But my true final question, last thing I want to leave you with to talk about before
Okay,
we wrap up today. What's your next mystery? Where do you want to investigate next when we end this off? Where you heading next in the labyrinth?
north. I'm heading north to look at the text-based adventure. I got a lot more that I want to do there. If you happen to have any pointers, please let me know because I want to delve into that, figure out what's going on there. I
Ooh, yes,
I only
that's what I've been
just
investigating. I could you want any pointers? I got
oh
that
perfect.
I've been looking through the text adventure and loving it. But
Me
yeah,
too.
that's an exciting place to head, and
Yeah.
I look forward to hearing what you find, and especially to hearing your analysis. Cheesy, any final words before I end off today's exploration log?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. And Zampanio is a really fun game, and you should play it.
This really was lovely. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. I'll see you around.
You too. See you around.
After all, we're here forever, right?
Yep, end is never the end.
See you later.
See you later.